Hello, my name is Haley Simmons, and this is my creative outreach project. Today, I'll be talking about the special education classroom. Is it right for your child? So what is special education? According to Washington Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction, special education is specially designed instruction that addresses the unique needs of a student to receive special education services. There are many reasons that your child would be recommended in the special education classroom. The following reasons could be: they're showing signs of a disability, that being ADHD, being autistic, Down syndrome, anxiety, and other learning disabilities. Another reason would not be meeting the goals that other students are achieving in a traditional classroom. Because of this, these specific kind of students could be a distraction in that classroom. And then they got a professional diagnosis. What the special education classroom looks like. It has a more intimate setting. There aren't desks everywhere in rows, but in small groups instead. In this class setting, you have more individual time with your teacher or even an aide. And also, time for you to learn on your own without feeling rushed like a traditional classroom. According to Robert Greene from Nova Southeastern University in Florida, he has said, in the state of Pennsylvania, there are about 33 special education therapists and teachers, also known as case managers. These case managers are within 13 school districts. Each teacher has something called a caseload, which is how many students they're allowed to represent. In the 13 school districts, the number of students in that special education program is about 1,700. This program continues an ongoing monitoring system to make sure no matter how severe one individual's caseload is, for example, ADHD, autism, or handicapped, they'll try their very best to place you within the right case manager. A special education student being in a traditional class part-time. I believe it's important for a special education student to be in a traditional class setting. That way, they're able to interact with different kids their own age. Knowing how to behave in different environments, for example, pushing them out of their comfort zone, but in a way that's right for them, and for the kids to feel normal. This might sound weird, but being able to be in a traditional classroom makes you feel this way. I know from experience, which I'll elaborate on later. So you might ask yourself, what's the difference between the general education curriculum to a special education curriculum? I'm here to tell you the difference. According to Amy Peterson, in her article, Perspectives of Special Education on General Education Curriculum Access, she stated that once standardized learning was merged in the late 1990s, learning outcomes and activities weren't taken into consideration with people with learning disabilities. These tests are usually in math and English. Where some teachers don't want to help those who have learning disabilities, other teachers do. Therefore, being in a traditional class part-time, whether you're better at math or English, then that case manager should push the general education teacher for you to be in that class during that time. For the other subjects, you may stay in the traditional classroom or in the special education classroom, depending on whether your IEP states. An IEP is an individual education plan. Usually when you hear that a student has to be in a special education classroom, you might think they have something like ADHD or has a form of autism. In my years of being in those classes, I've seen them with both. Each one of these students learns differently, just like you and me. According from the article Informed, teachers of students with significant disabilities now require certain skills to engage all students in different educational components. That way, each student gets a different level of where their education curriculum is. When I was 4 months old, I was diagnosed with NF1, neurofibromatosis. In elementary school, I was placed in the special education classes. In 5th grade is when it really bothered me. I felt like I was labeled as that kid. So I worked my way out of that class. I was able to do English and other activities in 5th grade, but in 6th grade, it changed. The only special education classes I was in was Learning Center and math. It was that way until high school. In high school, I just had Learning Center, where I used that class to finish homework. I also utilized that class to take testing. Now that I'm in college, I've been doing great. I've always been a B average student and have always worked very hard. I have my parents to thank as well. They helped me push my middle school case manager to get out of those classes. They believed in me. I know I don't have ADHD or autism, but no matter who you are, you can learn to overcome anything and to not take no as an answer. Thank you.